Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. Remember, you can find us on Cape Town TV, DSTV channel 263, every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. through to 10 p.m. and, of course, on Saturday mornings from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Just over 2.5 million viewers tune into Cape Town TV every month. And, of course, we talk about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby to hundreds of thousands of people every weekend. Of course, Club Rugby, not only Club Rugby fans, but moms and dads and aunties and uncles who also watch us just for the entertainment purposes. All right, let's talk a little bit. Rob, you guys got back into pre-season training, pretty much. Did you have to find a bit of a mix? I know Renzel was coaching your sevens tied. At which stage did you guys say, okay, the 15s guys are back at practice and the sevens guys are busy playing at the moment, or did you give everybody a bit of a break? Tell us about your kind of schedule.
Jake, we took a bit of a break for the bigger of the club. We supported the seven guys where we could, and we unfortunately were involved in the Gold Cup conundrum. Is that the right word?
Conundrum's good enough.
Yeah.
Yes, right. That's Hamis is teaching him some good English.
I have a different word which I would like to use, but as you said, this is people are tuning in for the fun, and it's a family show.
Yeah.
So we took a bit of a break, which was good.
Yeah, a lot of things happening on your field though. It must be a little bit awkward for you guys from a club point of view. You're right next to the Cape Town Stadium, so everybody wants to use your field. There was the HSBC Sevens. You probably got to have parking. I believe there was a basketball event. You've got to set up the venue. There was an ecosystem event.
That's it.
I mean, you're not going to say no to these guys, but it does distract things a little bit.
There's always something happening at Hamis.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. That's why our juniors sometimes have to practice on a Sunday when they can only start after 12 because tents need to be broken down and so there's always challenges, but we try.
So back at training, you guys are full time back now. Obviously getting ready. Have you guys started looking at pre-season friendlies yet? Yeah.
So we seeing that this is our 150th year.
Yeah.
We have a tournament or two which we'll partake in. We have our normal friendlies. Our relationship with Brackenfell is very strong over the last 5-6 years. We've invited, I think, one of my other favorite Super 8 clubs, False Bay, with Delaney's, to join us in our festival weekend of rugby, that I can put it that way. And then we've accepted the big challenge to the Saldanha Top 8 tournament over Eastern Cape. We've been challenged by one or two of the Boland clubs to see if we're up to playing against them. So
right.
Indeed, I accept it.
Morgs, let's go to you. From a Kraaifontein point of view, also just from a venue perspective, last year and a few years now, Kraaifontein's been host to the Sevens. Your facility also leans itself to having people knock on the door and say, can we use your fields for a couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, look, Jeff's very blessed in Kraaifontein, obviously. I mean, it's a massive sports ground, so there's a cricket field right next door. There's the Yuxco Club. There's the BMX sort of track around there. So, so there's lots happening in and around the area. I mean, the field needs some work for sure. There's lots of work that the council can maybe put in with regards to the field, lots of holes and so forth that need to be sorted out. But I mean, that'll happen over time as it goes, you know. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, we have our field when we need to. We didn't take as long as a break. I mean, we trained up until late November last year with whoever was available. Very social. We guys were in the gym doing some CrossFit, that kind of stuff. We've linked up with a gym around the corner from us where guys can do CrossFit and just get away from the field a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we started on the 7th of January and we've been going full swing. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 till 8:30 in the evening.
You must have had an enormous turnout. If I think about Kraaifontein, you mentioned it earlier on, the catchment area that you've got there. But plus, there's also a lot of other clubs in the area, Hands and Hearts, and you've got Scottsdene. I mean, you're actually open to a lot of derbies this year. Yeah, I mean, we have got. I mean, our pre-season our pre-season friendlies are pretty packed. But I mean, interestingly enough, even based on the catchment area, I think. I thought our numbers were pretty good. We've had about 45, 50 guys down. I thought, that's not too bad. Yeah. And then you listen to NNK having 90, and you listen to, obviously, Hamis having, 60, 70 players down there for their training sessions. Then I started to think 45 is not that much anymore, So, but, I mean, players have had their reasons, It's we've come off, it's been I suppose, if you just look in general in the world, I think, people are slowly getting back into the normality of things. Well, it's different, I think it's different for clubs,
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of leeway, and players must come down when they're available. We're a family club. I think that's a big driving force of us. Is we're a family club. We want guys to be able to family comes first. You know, two of our players, one's wife gave birth, kids were school holidays, kids were still at home, and you know, dads have got to look after the kids, which is of course priority. So I think over the next couple of weeks we'll start to see our numbers increase, and you know, a couple of players from all over the place. I know the Galacticas of the world are spending a lot of money and using a lot of the incumbent players, and then you know, they come to a club like Kraaifontein where we just want to give everyone an opportunity, equal opportunity, and see, you know, who makes it play first side. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you guys, Murray, from a NTK point of view, you know, I think one of the parts that we think from Super League B point of view is that if you have had Super League A experience, it really brings a lot of power to that side of the competition, because I think a lot of people have said that Super League B is probably the toughest league in the season, because so many of the teams in Super League B have been in Super League A, but also the best of Super League C are competing in the same league. Have you guys given a thought from that point of view?
Yeah, of course, it's a totally different challenge in one way, and there's some similarities. You know, been talking quite a lot with Alistair Tace as well. He's a regular on here, and we're the two teams that went down, and about the adjustments that we need to make. But you know, to be honest, I don't think there's a better time to be involved in club rugby.
Yeah.
I think you know the pre-chat we were all having. Super League A and Super League B are massively competitive, and it's that crazy time of the year that everyone's trying to get new players in, retain the players they had. Especially when you go down, you've got to convince guys that you know the project's still worth investing in. But we're in a good place actually, and we're excited about the challenge.
All right, folks, we've got a little video, another little video here for you. This is, of course, Peniel Villages. Lisa once again sent us a couple of clips, and then we're going to get back to the guys. But let's take a look here. Peniel Villages back in action. All right, Peniel Villages, folks, and I've just got to read you this message. Just hope you're doing well. Just wanted to inform you that Peniel Villages have started with their pre-season training. Their practices are as follows: Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays, all at 7 p.m. at the Peniel Sports Ground, and they're also in the process of preparing for their Sevens tournament already, and that'll take place on January the 31st and on February the 1st. So fantastic news coming in from Peniel Villages, and we're always happy to get as much information in from the clubs as possible. So there you go. Peniel Villages in full training already, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. at the Peniel Villages Sports Ground, and then of course their Sevens tournament, January 31st, February the 1st. So lots of action coming up. Folks, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to be joined by a few more guests. So we're going to swap things around a little bit and continue having a lot of fun here on the show. Don't go away. Back in a sec.